What's up guys, it's finally time. We're gonna talk about rolling some pots, so buckle up, and I'll try my best to get everyone looking like a pot god. First, let's talk about the point of the pressure plates on Abandoned Aqueduct, and then we'll get into all the ways to get it done without taking 40 minutes to roll a pot onto a plate. I'm looking at you, Wooly. So let's start by going over all 8 locations that the buttons can spawn. I'll have it playing as I keep talking. So to explain what the main point of this video is, let's talk about the basics. On Abandoned Aqueduct, there will always be exactly 2 pressure plates that will spawn in 2 of the 8 predetermined locations around the map. Your job, if you choose to accept it, is to find a way to push both of those pressure plates down at the same exact time. Quick note, sometimes the teleporter does spawn right on top of the pressure plates. I do cover it later in the video, but I did just want to let you guys know early on. Pressing both pressure plates down at the same exact time will open the ancient gate on this map, allowing you to fight 2 elite Elder Lemurians in an attempt to take the Jarls and Runald's band, some of the strongest green items in the entire game, and also gives you an achievement, Death Do Us Part. And this is a piece of cake in multiplayer since it was originally designed to be a multiplayer exclusive interaction. Just tell your friend to run over to the other plate and stand on both at the same time. However, in solo, it's not always that easy, and some don't even know that you can do it in solo. Now that we got all the locations and the purpose of the plates out of the way, let's talk about how to effectively get those pots rolling. First off, you want to be the most successful with pot rolling. Wait till you've completed the teleporter event and make sure all enemies are dead on the map so you can roll in peace. That's like the main thing. If anything is in your way when you're trying to roll a pot, they can shoot it, destroy it, and all that progress is just completely gone. So try to clear everything out. So the key to rolling pots is to wrap around the sides of the pot as you're trying to push it, not trying to shove it from the back center because that's not going to do anything. This is going to allow the friction between you and the pot to effectively roll it. I personally prefer to alternate the sides at which I wrap around the pot from, but depending on different slopes and terrain, you're going to require different pushing patterns, so there's no perfect way to roll the pot in every scenario. Note that Artificer is going to struggle a bit more than the other survivors when rolling pots due to her being more floaty, and Multi's hitbox and legs are kind of fucked, so probably are going to have the most trouble with Multi when rolling pots. Alright, so pot rolling is covered. It's time to learn how to kickflip the pots for those long pot rolling journeys in more intense terrain. To kickflip the pot, all you gotta do is stand on top of the pot towards the back end of it, and then just sprint forward towards the direction you want the pot to go. I prefer to do it when the pot is completely upside down, but any pot orientation allows you to kickflip the pot, so it doesn't really matter. Note that sometimes the kickflip doesn't work due to terrain being in the way or other reasons. Just nudge the pot so it's not in the same exact spot that you were struggling with, and just try again. That's all you gotta do, just keep nudging it, and once you get the kickflip going, then you know you're in the right spot. Remember, you're not gonna be perfect at this anytime soon. It's gonna take a lot of practice and a few thrown runs. I have over 1,000 hours and it could still be pretty tricky sometimes, so just keep that in mind. There's always room to improve, always room to learn more and get better, but just keep at it, you got it. Alright, so we talked about how to roll the pots, we talked about how to kickflip the pots. Now let's get into survivor specific techs and tricks to either push the pressure plates down on their own, or some neat ways to move the pots even more effectively with survivor skills. Here's one that most people know of, good old Engi with stationary turrets. All you gotta do is whip out your fancy stationary turret and plop it down right on top of the pressure plate. All you have to worry about is your turret staying alive as you go to press the second plate down, but that's about it. Next we got Huntress and both of her blinks to fling pots across the map. What you're going to want to do is walk, not sprint, around the outside of the pot like you're going to roll it, and just dash in the direction that you want it to go. It gets a little tricky and it doesn't always work, but once you kind of get the feel of it, it's not too bad. So Commando has some tech similar to Huntress's, but instead of blinks, you're going to use Commando's slide utility to launch pots across the map with ease. This one you don't have to really walk around and pretend like you're going to roll the pot. It's more straightforward and just slide into the pot and you'll launch that bad boy. Captain's got a pretty easy way to push down the pressure plates. All you got to do is pull out one of your beacons and plop that bad boy down right on the pressure plate. Simple as that. So loaders can be a little tricky, but what you want to do is use the default special pylon to press the button down. I found the easiest way to do this is to find the range at which the pylon flies out to try and have it end its flight right above the pressure plate. The pylon does slowly descend throughout its active duration, so as long as it's above the plate, you'll have a good chance of getting it pressed down. Again, note that the pylon is only out for a certain amount of time, so make sure you hurry to the second plate before the pylon despawns. Railgunner has some nice and simple pot moving tech with her concussion device. All you gotta do is throw your utility down and watch the pots fly. You'll have to get a feel for how far the mines launch the pots, but that all comes with experience and practice, so just keep trying and you'll figure it out. It's turned into a little community mini game that we call pot golfing, and I think all the pot tech in this game is just one of the coolest things I've experienced in a video game. I fucking love it. Alright, so moving on to equipment that can help you press the pressure plates down. First up, we have the Primordial Cube. Since the cube is able to pull pots and pots don't take fall damage, this is one of the best equipments to move not only pots, but enemies onto the pressure plates themselves. Obviously, for pushing plates down with the enemies and cube, you will be on a time constraint, since when the cube despawns, the enemies are again free to move around as they do. Also, while I was testing the cube, I ran into something that I wanted to cover. This being that sometimes the teleporter spawns on top of the pressure plate, which completely locks you out of being able to press both plates down at the same time. I did clip through the ground just to kind of show you guys what was going on. Next up for equipments, we have the Forgive Me Please. The actual Forgive Me Please itself does not push the pressure plate down at all, but Forgive Me Please can drop a lunar coin, which actually does have the ability to pressure plates down, which is pretty cool. Obviously, it's not the most efficient way to get a pressure plate down, but in hard times, you can always rely on a lunar coin dropping from a Forgive Me Please. Kind of branching off the lunar coin press, any item actually has the ability to press the plates down. Whether it's from a chest that happens to spawn close to the plate, or killing an elite above the plate which drops its aspect on top of it, or even using the trophy hunter's tricorn on a boss over the pressure plate to have its boss item press it down. Obviously, really tough thing to pull off for any of these, but just know that it is possible, so try it out. A fun one that was introduced with the DLC was actually the ability to press the plates down with Goobo himself. Now, as you know, Goob likes to move around a lot when it's alive, but when you initially throw Goob out, he'll land and press the plate down, which means with some timing and positioning, you're able to either press one of the plates down and run to the second plate, or if you have a fuel cell, you can actually throw both Goobos really quickly to press both plates down simultaneously. Note that for a Goobo press, the plates do have to be fairly close to each other if you're wanting to pull this off, since when the Goobos start moving, they're not going to stay on the plate at all. So Effigy of Grief is probably the easiest equipment to use if you're trying to press the plates down. All you got to do is press Q. Just aim right at the button and press Q on it. And the good thing is that you can actually go to the bazaar, choose the Effigy of Grief if you want to, or go into Abandoned Aqueduct, and there's your free bands. Now I know what you're thinking, holy shit, the Caffeinator is just like Captain's Beacon, it's gotta work. Well, it doesn't. So dream shattered, thanks Hopu. Well, that's about it. I've spent a lot of time testing all possibilities and gathering information from different content creators, and I think I've covered every single way to help you all out in getting better at rolling pots and just showing every possible way to press the plates down as easily as possible. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please feel free to recommend any other video topics that you guys would like to see me cover in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more tech videos, and I hope I can help a few of you guys out in just getting more consistent with this extremely fun part of the game. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and yeah, that's it. Peace out.